To explain how I was able to repair the tension bolt on my Brooks B17 saddle. You see the saddle's in good shape. I've got about 7,000 miles on it. The other day while riding, the tension bolt, which goes right here on the underside, snapped, and because of it then I was riding on the rails. So the tension went out of the leather and it was very uncomfortable. This is the bolt that sheared off. You can see the end that sheared off. I lost the piece in my running around to hardware stores, but there's a piece and the bolt would go in this manner, and this piece would fit into the nose. So my temporary fix to get through the day was just to buy a standard piece of hardware. This is just a screw with a screwdriver head, coarse thread. It's a 5/16 inch bolt, and put a nylon stop nut on it. I put that in and that got me by the day, but it was not a long-term solution as I could not get the right tension on the seat leather. My next approach, I went to a hardware store and I bought a threaded 5/16 threaded rod. I was just going to cut this off and use a combination of a stop nut, a regular 5/16 nut, and a washer. Problem with that approach is I could not get enough room in here. I needed some adequate room in this area, and I could not do that. Could not find out how to do that. My understanding is at the factory they use a hydraulic stretcher to stretch the saddle to put the tension bolt in. My next approach was I went to another hardware store where they had stainless steel. I bought an 8mm hex head, hoping that I could fit that into the nose piece and it would stick. It would stay stable. And then I bought a couple of other screws, nuts, a stop nut or lock nut, and a washer, all stainless steel. My dilemma with that is I still could not figure out how to get enough space between this nose piece and this bracket. That was my dilemma. So my fourth approach was I bought a socket head screw, 8mm, and a thin nut, very narrow nut. And presto, that did the trick. I was able to squeeze it in there by prying this bracket away from the nose piece with a couple of screwdrivers and pushed this assembly in there. Then it was very easy to stick using an Allen head wrench to put that in the end, hold the nut with just any wrench, channel lock or nose, needle nose, or 13mm wrench in this particular case, open end. And then I just used a standard Allen wrench to turn the threaded screw. Worked great, and I could immediately put an adequate amount of tension on my saddle. So I'm very happy, and I still intend to buy the correct part when they become available. At this point, I've not had any success doing that. So hope this helps someone.